Greeting.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi
Morning,
wabarakatuh.
ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, students. So it's with the 80 class, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
All right. Please, the class president, lead the pray before we start the class today.
Sebelum memulai pelajaran bahasa Inggris pagi ini, mari kita berdoa menurut kepercayaan masing-masing. Berdoa dimulai. Berdoa selesai.
All right. Thank you, class president. Now I'm gonna take your attendance, please. Please answer present, ma'am, when I call your name. Okay. Hayum Zamzami, are you here?
Present, ma'am.
All right. Muhammad Amrizal Wijaya, are you here?
Present, ma'am.
All right. So it's good to hear all of you attendance for today's class meeting. So on our previous meeting, we already discussed about simple continuous tense. And for today's meeting, we will discuss about recontact. So class, have you ever tell your friends about your experience after you go for holiday or after you go when some excited place?
Yes, we have, ma'am.
Yes, we have, ma'am.
All right, good to hear that. The way you tell the story, if you write it down on the paper, you can tell it as a recon text. So, class, if you care to tell me a short story for your holiday experience, I'll give you a +4. And please raise your hand if you want to try to tell us the story of your holiday experience. I'll give you the score.
I
Right.
want to try
Go.
to tell my story. Okay.
All right, go
A week
ahead,
ag-
please.
Okay. A week ago, I went to Padang to meet my big family there. Cause my auntie held her wedding. I tried so many new food and went to many fascinating place in Padang. I stay of 2 days, and before I fly back to Depok, I bought a lot of souvenir too. It was a great experience for me.
Wow, that sounds really fun, right? So, class, give applause, please, for Amrizal. Okay, now I'll explain about the recontext material so we can learn about the recontext itself more deeper. And please pay your attention and take a note because in the end of the material, I want you to read the recontext and answer some questions. So you can open your module book at page 33, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So class, recontext is similar with a narrative text, and the recontext written about the experience that you have in a way of chronological order based on the time and places of your experience. And recontext focus only on the events that you experience in. The easiest way to describe about recontext is like you write your diary. The social function of the recontext is to tell the reader about what happened in the past of your experience through the sequence events. For example, if you go to one place, then go to another place on your holiday event, you can tell the exact time in the recontext that you write. And the generic structure of the recontext is one, there is orientation, which tell who were involved in the story. For example, like you, your family, you and your friends, and etc. The second is events, which tell what happened in chronological order. You can tell where the places that you go in exact time. And the third is reorientation. This is optional. The reorientation contains the conclusion of the experience. It's more like you can tell when you go home what happened after you go home, or how do you feel after you went to that holiday. So, is there any question this far, class?
Ma'am.
Yes.
So the context is like we write our diary, but in detailed way and use the generic structure too. Is it correct, ma'am? So what tense or language feature that we should use when we want to write the recontext map?
All right, yes, that is correct. And for the language feature for recontext, we can see on the next slide. You can write it on your notes too, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So here's the language feature in recontext. First, recontext use focus on personal participants. Example is like I, me, my family, my friends, and etc. The second is use of past adverb of time to indicate the time and adverb of place to indicate the place. The third is use the chronological connector, like then, after that, later on, and next. The fourth is use of linking verb and verb of tense, like was, were, saw, heard, thought, and etc. The five is use of action verb. For example, like walk, talk, run, and call. And the last is use of past tense. So recontext is use a past tense when you write it. All right, until this far, we already done with the material. Is there any question, class? Is it clear enough?
No, ma'am. It's clear
No,
enough.
ma'am, it's clear enough.
All right, if it's clear enough, I want you to read a short context to pay all your attention while you read it. Because there is some question you need to answer for your score, okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
here's the
Yes, ma'am.
context. I will give you some time to read it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
All right, time is up, yes, guys. Now, time for the task. So the question number one and number two is what is the text tell about and why did the writer have to buy another train of tickets? Please, Hayun Zamzami, can you answer for the question number one and two?
The answer number one is B, and the answer number two is A.
All right, the answer number one is B, is correct, and the answer number two is A. Is it correct? So the question number three is what did the writer eat at Malioboro for lunch? And the question number four is what time the writer arrived at home after the trip? So please, Amriza, can you answer?
Yes, ma'am. The answer for number 3 is C. And the answer for number 4 is B. Is it correct, ma'am?
Okay, let's see. The answer number three is C. It's correct. And the answer for number four is B. It's correct. Okay. Okay, so now for the task of Izay. Um, Hayun, can you please answer for the number one?
The orientation structure for the text started on the first paragraph. The event structure starts from the word tell the she go to the Balapan railway at 7 o'clock until the end paragraph 2. And the paragraph T is the reorientation.
All right, that's correct. And Amriza, can you answer the question number two, please?
The tense that use is in the text are past tense.
Okay, that's correct. And Hayun, care to answer the question number three, please?
I think the suitable title for the text is my holiday experience in Yogyakarta, ma'am.
Okay, that's correct. And the last question is, Amriza, can you answer it?
The language feature the writer use on the text are the 6 language feature. For a context, the writer use past tense. There's me and my friends for personal participants. There are linking verb like were and arrive. Then there's action verb feature like both and visit.
Okay, that's correct. So give applause, class, for all of you. So class, that was all for our materials today. What's the context again? class?
It's a text that tell about our experience that we already had in past, like we are holiday.
Recontext what with past tense and tell in detail the chronological order of your events.
Okay, that's correct. And I hope you guys can use our materialisms today in your daily activity. And you guys did a good job for today's meeting. Keep it up and keep the spirit for studying. And I hope you guys enjoy today's meeting. And if you have another question, we can discuss it on our next meeting. And the class president, please lead the pray before we end the class, please.
Sebelum kita mengakhiri kelas hari ini, mari kita berdoa menurut kepercayaan masing-masing. Berdoa dimulai. Doa selesai.
Alright, the class dismissed and see you on our next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon class and have a good day. Bye bye.
Waalaikumsalam
Assalamualaikum
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh. Thank you,
wabarakatuh.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.